Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. I think it is high time that someone calls out the hypocrisy that is going on during Pride Month. Now, I still don't understand why the LGBT Rainbow Alphabet Mafia gets an entire stinking month to celebrate their sexuality and put it on full display. And their argument to us is if you are a straight white male, let's say, or a straight white female, you are parading your sexuality around every single day. And they find that rather offensive, even though I'm not pushing anything down anyone's throat about which way I decide to lean in the bedroom. But these people that are part of the Rainbow Alphabet Mafia seem like it's got to be on full display for every single person to see, and they need an entire stinking month to actually do it. It's unbelievable. It's really absurd. And then you have all these other companies during the month of Pride that want to celebrate alongside of these people. You may even hear a few times about this gay rights thing that somehow got missed or is no longer seemingly talked about because they've got quite a few rights. If you haven't already noticed, they got a lot of their rights that they were fighting for a long while, even though that's not enough for these particular people nowadays. They've got to have more than just these couple of rights that they fought for a long period of time, right? No, they've got to have an entire month. They've got to have 200 something plus days on the calendar to celebrate whatever the hell they want to celebrate that's part of their sexuality. And these companies are more than happy to tag along and say, you know what, you guys are the ones that deserve all of this. You guys have been marginalized for a long period of time. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to prop you up. You're going to be in the face of literally every single person that's walking around in society. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to put it on full display in our company. We're going to virtue signal the living hell out of this because you know what? If we don't, then we won't be seen as being part of the Rainbow Alphabet Mafia community. And God forbid that we don't support them. Oh dear, what would happen if we don't actually support these people? It's really absurd, if you ask me. But there's a level of hypocrisy in all of this that I don't think many people actually look at. For example, you have BMW, they put on their Western Twitter account the pride flag, which seems to change every bloody week, I'll have you know. So they put the pride flag on their Twitter account to showcase their solidarity with the LGBT whatever group. But they won't do it for the Middle East Twitter account. Surprising, isn't it? Gee, I wonder why that is. Could it be that the Middle East actually has a level of decency and respect for actual citizens and they don't like or they don't allow for this kind of cardinal sin to be paraded around in their country? They want to be seen, these companies, to be able to operate in those other countries like Saudi Arabia, for example. And if you are in the Middle East, then these companies like BMW that operate there, they want to be able to operate there. They don't want to piss off the government or the authorities over there. They want to still be able to operate. So it's only good if you are in America. We're going to pander to the small little minority group in America because we're going to get that wonderful cheddar from all of these DEI companies that go along with them. It's amazing to me that we live in a day and age where being normal is no longer celebrated. I mean, it should be celebrated, but being this overly crazy weird and outrageously, overtly sexually weird, I'll have you know, that's celebrated. That is put on full display. That's put in your movies. That's put on your on items that you walk around in the shopping center. I mean, I saw the other day Oreos, for goodness sake, has now got a pride packaging as well. So any company that promotes pride and puts pride flags and you name it, that want to be in full support of these people that are claiming that they're just being who they are, and they want everyone to know about it, I'm not going to support them. Simple as that. Hey, if you want to put that stuff in my face, put it in everybody else's face, why should I support you? Why should I give you my hard-earned money to support that nonsense? No, thank you. Now, if you want to do this in the privacy of your own home, by all means, go ahead and do it. No one's going to stop you. But the fact is, and here's what I have a massive problem, you can't not see it. It's annoying. It's frustrating. You can't not see the ideology that comes along with it, because I know I've got friends of mine that are part of the LGBT, well, LGB community, I should say, because they want to drop the T and every other letter after that, that actually have a level of common sense and they don't like any of this ideological nonsense that goes along with it. But today you have people that are part of the LGBT, whatever else, that are so full of this ideological nonsense that they push it onto everyone. You can see really who is all accepting and all proud of this sort of stuff, because they dress a certain way, they look a certain way. You can tell what happens to a person when they fall into this ideological nonsense. So it's time that we not only call out the hypocrisy, but it's time that we say enough is enough. I'm sick and tired of seeing it everywhere. It's really outrageous to me as well that our veterans, the ones that actually went and fought, so these people, these ungrateful cowards, can parade around in skimpy outfits on the streets in front of little kids. They can twerk in front of little kids. They can do and say whatever they want to say. They can expose themselves in public and that not be a crime. But any other day of the week that's not during the month of June, that's considered a crime. So again, why do these people get an entire bloody month, but yet our veterans, the ones that actually really do matter and contributed enormously because they gave their life for your freedom, why do they only get one day? I think they should get more than one day, don't you? I think they should get an entire month. I think the month of June should be replaced with Veterans Month, because they don't get celebrated enough. If it wasn't for them and their sacrifice, we wouldn't be here, would we? We'd be taken over. But no, the gay mob and the LGBT trans mob, they don't care. It's clear as day. They rock up at parades that are happening on Veterans Day or days that we actually have, or one day that we have, sorry, to celebrate our veterans. They rock up and they try and destroy that. They try and disrupt it. Why? You don't deserve to disrupt anything. The veterans deserve to march. The veterans deserve far more than any of you people that are part of the LGBT whatever group, because they gave up everything so you could disrupt their events with your stupidity and with your woke garbage that goes along with it. So when will companies end their embarrassing pride hypocrisy? I don't think they will. And not just companies, but when will the church? Church is another problem. You have all these so-called pastors and Christians that are wanting to be overly kind and generous, and they take the Bible and they screw what Jesus said. They screw up verses to suit their own means. And as a result, they actually forget the real meaning behind what Jesus spoke about and really what Jesus said. And you have all these Christians that put up pride flags trying to say welcome. They go to the opposite extreme. They went from one extreme to the next. And they try and say that Jesus was gay Jesus was trans, Jesus was this, and that. I've seen countless videos of these so-called churches and so-called pastors. Why? That's what annoys me a lot. So as we know, June is Pride Month, the annual exercise in rainbow washing. I think we should take back the rainbow because these people got it from something that actually meant something good and whole. But pride has now taken over, becoming a cardinal sin. I can't stand the flag. You may hate me for saying that, but I can't stand it. Changes far too often. It went from something that was relatively simple that shouldn't actually have taken from something that was good. Still is good, have you know? And now they've just destroyed it. And now we've got the worst sin of all on full display, being paraded around in the streets. It's been going on now for goodness knows how long. On 31st of May, the bank is offering you a fixed rate with a 4% APRC. On June 1st, it wants you to know that on the off chance you're non-binary, your mortgage lender thinks that's valid. Not that it really matters, but your mortgage broker, the bank, hey, we celebrate you. We see you. We understand you. Who the hell cares? Seriously, just be a company. Provide a mortgage. Why do you need to signify that you're in solidarity with them? Does that mean you're going to discriminate against us for being regular human beings? Where's my solidarity? Where's my singleness awareness month, or what it's singleness awareness or straight awareness day or whatever else? The most obvious way for a corporation to signal its commitment to inclusivity is to emblazon its corporate branding with the pride flag, but this increasingly fraught with difficulty. This is increasingly fraught with difficulty because you see the pride flag is no longer inclusive. It's a gay symbol, after all, and gay men and lesbians rank just below white people and non-graduates in the current ideology's hierarchy of villainy. Some brands get around this by using the Progress Pride flag instead. And speaking of banks, HSBC has gone down this route. Alas, Progress is a fast-moving thing. And while the Progress flag boasts additional stripes in blue, pink, and white, trans pride apparently, whatever the hell that means, and brown and black, people of color, yes, that's also included somehow. It isn't as progressive as the intersex inclusive Progress Pride flag mean. Geez, that's a mouthful. Which adds a purple ring on a yellow background. Now, I didn't know half of this stuff. When you look at the pride flag, a lot of it makes literally no sense at all. Of course, this in itself is a symbol of oppression because it fails to incorporate the flags of polysexuals, those attracted to many genders. Again, I did a video on all of the so-called different genders. Apparently, there's over 72 of them. They don't make any sense at all. Some of them actually are the same as another, well, several of them, believe it or not. And polygenders. So polysexuals, those are attracted to many genders, and polygenders, those who are many genders. So you've got a word now for everything. Isn't that just the same thing? So you've got polysexuals that are apparently attracted to polygenders. It just, good grief. If HSBC can't get simple stuff like this right, how am I supposed to trust them with my reward current account? Indeed. And there's many other questions that I have revolving around this. It doesn't make me transphobic. It doesn't make me a hateful person for saying any of this. I just want to know why. There's a level of hypocrisy that I've spoken about several times already that I want to know why. Why is there so much hypocrisy going on, and why don't you actually care about it? So here's another interesting one. in regards to hypocrisy. The LGBT, whatever flag, good. Palestinian flag, good. Now combine the two together somehow. The LGBT Palestinian flag, I wouldn't try it in Gaza. But you have queers for Palestine. But they don't even know the first thing about what would happen to them if they actually were in Gaza and they would say, queers for Gaza. Apparently the word queer is making a comeback. It wasn't allowed for a very long time. So they pick and choose what is right and wrong for them. I recently saw an interview with Piers at his panel. James Barr, that guy finds literally everything said offensive. Even though it's the truth, even though it's scientifically accurate, he finds it offensive. He even thinks somehow that men have cervixes. He can't actually talk about the truth because he's too afraid to offend somebody, but yet he gets offended at literally everything that people with common sense and normality talk about, because we're living in a actual reality world. Him, on the other hand, I have no idea where he's living. Living in oppressive land. How in the world he's a comedian, I don't know. I really don't know. It's quite interesting and rather annoying at times to listen to him talk because he can't answer a question that Piers asks him. And he just reels all the time. And then you have Ernest, the other one, can't answer questions properly either. These people that are part of the LGBT whatever, they're so fickle. They want to make you believe in whatever they believe in, but when you actually point out their hypocrisy and the lack of truth that's along with it, they get rather defensive. They start reeling and they can't answer questions. Or they'll just say it's intellectually dishonest. Fancy words, intellectually dishonest. Let's break that down, shall we? What does that really mean, being intellectually dishonest? If I'm saying, for example, that I want to identify as being a black man, I'm not a black man, but I want to identify as such. Now, Piers raised this question to Ernest, who couldn't answer it because apparently, according to them, race is different to gender. So you can't identify as a different color, but yet you can identify as a different gender because gender is fluid, but race isn't. Where both are given to you biologically speaking. Amazing, right? You can't change your race and you can't change your biological sex. But yet people go, you somehow can change your gender because gender is different to sex, but you can't change your race because race is inherent, right? Race isn't fluid. Oh, I'll get offended at the race issue, but when it comes to gender and sexuality, no, don't touch that. That's holy, sacred ground. Why? See the hypocrisy? See the level of stupidity in all of it? See, when it's actually broken down, it makes no sense. But the thing is, they want it to make sense for them. And you know what? If you want to live your life the way you want to live it in the privacy of your own home, sure. But don't force it down anyone's throats. Otherwise, you're going to get videos like this that are going to point it out. Going to point out the stupidity in your arguments or lack thereof. You're going to get other people like Piers Morgan, Riley Gaines, and Esther Crackle believe her name is, pointing it out too. There's too much hypocrisy going on. Needs to stop. And now, my friends, I thought that I would just have my 2 cents worth. You guys take care. Be blessed, and I'll see you all in the next video.